Welcome. Let's go ahead and begin. So we'll start with finding a comfortable seated position. Um, Notice what you're sitting on so that it's fairly easy to sit upright, which really is just start at your pelvis. That feeling way deep in your pelvis, that the um, pelvis just kind of is upright and there's space in your pelvic bowl. And then you can just lift up, right up. Not only, excuse me, like up through the spine, but even feeling how your head is just like balanced right on top. And that just takes awareness. Even possibly like you're looking forward. Good morning, Gabe. So our awareness is going to kind of linger around this area of the digestive fire. So, and in this space, right below your rib cage. So this is the area of not only like your stomach, but actually above your stomach is your liver. Liver is a huge, it's both kind of an organ and a gland. And on your right side, and then left side, a little bit around your stomach is your pancreas. And these two really work at kind of dealing with things like our what we eat in the area of like sugars and fats and even like chemicals or drugs, and balancing, then bringing a balance into the body. So when we eat things that could potentially be pretty toxic, that these organs come into play and help to bring things to balance, things like insulin that come into your system to deal with sugar. And then the liver does a lot of filtration. Gallbladder works, dealing with fatty substances. So just bearing in mind, like some of this, I'm actually bringing in a lot more for like off the mat work. But today, in this idea of a digestive fire, to really keep in mind that sugar is actually important. It's fuel, but it's so easy to tip it out of balance. And when we've consumed too much sugar, it just puts out our digestive fire. It just really brings it out of balance. But out of balance in a way that there's something about once we do get into a lot of sugar consumption that we actually crave more sugar. And you might notice this. Like it, eating sugar begets like wanting more sugar. And there's no point where you'll feel like satisfied in a way. Rather than, when we do eat foods that are nourishing and satisfying, like we actually get a feeling of, wow, like I really have good energy. So just bearing that in mind. But yoga in general is a balancing practice and a purifying practice. So we're going to start by reaching the arms out to the side and just breathing here. Inhale, bring your arms up. Notice how it just opens that space, like the upper abdomen. And the exhale, the arms come down. Really simple action. Inhaling up, exhaling down. But more of like just recognizing that you got yourself here, that you have, taken some time out, and that you're spending this time doing this workout. When we move, it is very different than sitting, let's say sitting and meditating. When we're moving, there is something about how it kind of helps us digest things like imbalances like anger. If you're really upset or irritated, there's just something really quite powerful about this steady, strong breath and movement. Or we just could see the goodness of just working our body. This is good. Exercise is good to move the body, being strong, not only in our muscles, muscular strength, but it builds integrity like around our spine, builds our integrity to stay true to our own values, really. And it all starts just with this movement and this breath and this connection. It's almost like instead of seeking sugar, like as our sweetness, that this connection to the body is really a wholesome sweetness. Next time your arms come up, you're just going to take one arm down and just move into this side stretch, connecting and feeling the side of your body. And there really is like a sweetness there. Switch sides. Rather than um, having that feeling like, oh, I'm neglecting my body. I feel I should move. Well, here you are. Move side to side now. And there is this kind of disappearing of that weariness and really alive, kind of strong, even with simple movements, like just to bring in this kind of strong through your back. Notice this spaciousness through your whole digestive tract. The waves of breath, fanning just right, that digestive fire. So good to fully assimilate and actually absorb the nutrients that we do consume. Good. Now, as we let this go, arms coming down, we're going to undo our seated position and take yourself just right onto the floor. So what I would like to do is actually, you were just sitting. So I actually just want to lay with the legs straight. Okay. And your arms just go out to the side. So letting this all just be very open for a moment. So this is no small position for the body, laying on the floor, really open. And then the action, we're going to do this kind of interesting action around the abdomen, which is going to start by straightening your legs. Actively straighten your legs and point your toes up to the ceiling. And then just imagine that you're going to lift your legs, okay? So don't lift your legs, but prepare to lift your legs like you're about to. And notice what happens. You're about to lift your legs. So feel what happens in your abdominal muscles, around your abdomen, even your side kind of oblique muscles might start to contract. And then just relax that. And then do this again. Just feel this contracting, like you're about to lift your legs. Even the leg muscles themselves might contract. Even your back muscles might engage. You could keep your airways open, like really feel how you can breathe here. Now, go ahead and relax that. And I hope that you're feeling this, like an actual work of your abdominal muscles are contracting. So next time as you do this again, you're contracting and you are actually going to lift your right leg a little bit. You don't need to hold your breath at all. And then lower your right leg and then lift your left leg, like just a little bit, like you're barely lifting your leg. And drop it down and just do this back and forth and notice this deep, deep strength in your body. So as you're going back and forth, you might feel like your both your back muscles, your abdominal like front muscles, and possibly even the sides of your body, how they contract here. Just kind of study this movement of lifting your leg just slightly. Keeping space in your chest. Good. And then go ahead and bend your right knee. Bring your right knee into your chest. Even use your hands. Really draw your thigh into your chest or your thigh pressing on your abdomen. And then lift your head. As you lift your head, it's like you're taking your nose towards your knee. And then let that go. Switch legs. As your left knee draws in, your right leg really extends out. And then you lift your head. Now your chin is down. Okay, really pull your chin down here as you're lifting. So this is like a sit up, right? You're lifting up and then you release down. And go ahead and do this back and forth. Breathing. So at first you're elongated and then there's that lifting up, that little squeeze. So part of like this like digestive fire area, it's good to both bring space and then get a little squish, a little squeeze. So we open it up and then we lift to the sit up. Again, you can do this at any pace that you want to move in. Keeping your face and your eyes really relaxed here. Good. And then from here, we're just going to take both legs and reach your legs up. Nice, strong, and straight. Let your feet rotate around, kind of spin your feet around. And enjoy like the openness through the soles of your feet. Your toes are spreading and wiggling just to get space and just getting the feet moving. Now you're going to take your hands on your legs, even hands behind your thighs, and again you're going to lift your head. Now you're going to draw your legs in towards your forehead. You might even feel your sacrum lift up away from the floor. So this is a kind of a reclined forward bend, just a nice big leg stretch. You could do a little pointing and flexing of your feet. Just this initial, like energy moving through your legs. As you let this go ahead and just swing your legs. So you come back up to seated. Take the soles of the feet together here and then open the front of the body. So you were just contracting in that sit up and now you're opening up. Reach the knees way out to the side even. Bring yourself a little more upright here. But when you're sitting upright, there's awareness of these these plates, these bony plates, like your breastbone is lifting up and your sacrum is drawing in, okay? And so ribs lifted. Good. And then let the feet just open wide apart here, okay? And we're going to just do that little dropping back and forth of the knees, breathing way down to your pelvis here. Getting the belly pelvis area, just rolling side to side. Good. And then go ahead and take yourself just right onto all fours. So once again, pointing out how when you're on all fours and when you start to move into your cat and cow position, it's just the perfect action to really connect to this all aspects of your digestive tract, from your mouth, your throat, like all the way, your chest and your abdomen. Just letting this all move. So good, this kind of cleansing action. Just like a sponge, would just like soak in and then squeeze out. Good. And then as you pause, you're going to just let yourself sit for a moment. So I want to take just a minute and access the feet and just give the feet a little love and attention. So I'm just sitting with like my legs a little bit apart, and then I'm just going to grab one foot. Okay. And with the sole of the foot, you're going to use mostly your thumbs and just press and give your foot a massage. This one, you could just follow your intention or intuition here. I usually start with the ball of the foot and just pressing and feeling, there is this, kind of the center of the ball of the foot, and then the ball mound, and then out towards your little toe. So you're just taking some time with your feet, pressing. Now start to move down towards the arch of your foot, okay? And as you're doing that, really can press, kind of moving a little deeper, because this does, this pressure, this massage, it just goes deeper than any yoga pose can, as you're just pressing here. And as you get to your heel, you'll probably notice, your heel is quite dense. So just playing with just that pressing in anyway. And then as you move up towards your toes, you could kind of like pull and stretch your toes, and maybe like twist them a little bit. I like to do kind of a little pulling and twisting of the individual toes. Just check them out, like how are the toes doing? And then just doing kind of a folding back and forth of your toes. Good, I'm really moving. One last little foot squeeze, massage, and then switch feet. So with that other foot doing the same thing, you're just pressing on the balls of your feet here. Examine a little bit your toes. And moving down towards the arches of your feet. Your foot, I should say, and really press in there. It might be kind of tender, but this is just really good for the interconnective tissue, the fascia in your feet, getting this nice massage. As you work your way up to the toes, just noticing the toes, kind of getting that, kind of pulling, lengthening them, or one at a time, a little twisting, getting into your little toe joints. This is just, it just feels like such a wonderful, like sweet thing to do. So rather than reaching for sweet sugar things to eat, I mean, this is about as sweet as it gets. And so holding the toes a little bit, moving them. One last little massage, squeeze. So from here, I like to just roll right over into down dog. It's like a little continuation of this, but really feel like I can sense like even how my hands feel after doing that and how my feet feel. Like I'm just going to go ahead and walk the feet a little bit here. Like, oh, they're just so happy. It's just such a um, wonderful, sweet way to connect and just start to see how this relates to letting go of tension. Walk your feet back and just move towards a plank pose. Lengthen out here, and then just lightly touch your knees down and move back towards child pose. Any variation of child pose. Folding over, but breathing, feeling. Good. Now, as you come up, you're actually just going to go right onto all fours here, okay? And we're going to just do that little exploration of the pose I call the quarter moon pose. So this is where you take your knees together. And then we'll start by taking the right foot. Just let the right foot swing out to the right slightly. And then reach your left leg back. As you reach your left leg back, it lifts up, you're reaching, and you let the left hip start to open here. And as it opens, then you start to lift your left hand up. Now feel free to reposition because we need a firm, strong base here, okay? And that left arm is going to reach up. And then for here, you just lengthen out. I like to reach back through my left heel. Like feel the heel going back, keeping your digestive tract very open here. Like from your mouth is moving all the way down, even to your tailbone. Now, you're going to let that top left leg just drop down. Like let your foot or your toes kind of touch the floor. And then you lift that left leg up again. Okay, play with that. Let it lower down and then lifting it up. Breathing, stay nice and firm and strong here as you're doing this. Feel like that, what's happening in that side of your left hip, that outer, that whole space as you drop your leg, and then as it kind of contracts to lift your leg up. You might notice that it helps to kind of keep your navel in so that you don't arch your back. Now, left hand is going to come down and then the left knee down. You kind of move back to neutral. Even your shins are side by side. And then left foot opens towards the left and you start to reach your right leg way back and you start to open, lifting your right hip, opening your right shoulder, and then as you're ready, right arm reaching up. Just lengthen out. There's a little bit of almost a plank pose here because it's just so strong and lengthened. Now letting your right foot drop down and touch the floor. And then it lifts up again. Such a good one to play with doing that in your own way. Like you're getting to now kind of studying all those sensations on the outer right leg, the outer right hip, even lower back. Good. And then that top right hand comes down and the right knee comes down. Taking yourself back to downward facing dog, you lift up. Really open your hands. Spreading, opening your feet. There's those toes. And then reach your heels down and then lift your heels up and just let that just roll through your feet a few times, the lifting and lowering. You can always do that one heel at a time. Continue to grow the spine as you're here. Even notice how open the space around your inner furnace, like how this really opens up here. Now go ahead and walk forward and come up to standing. Push into your feet, come all the way up, and just reach your arms way up, and then the arms come down. So we're going to just start with a little, just kind of a marching action, and just to study how when you're doing just a little marching action with the arms swinging, that there's a lot of awareness around your back, like just being really upright here, letting your head be just right on top. It's almost like your head is like a balloon that just keeps lifting up as you're doing this, but in a comfortable way. And then just pausing here. So for our next kind of exercise here, you might want to grab a tissue, or this one I just like to do with a really intentional inhale and exhale through the nostrils. So it looks like this. It's where you're going to bring your arms up, both arms up, and just lift one knee up. And then everything comes down. And then as you go the other side, you're lifting up. And everything comes down. But you want to find your own pace because you're going to inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So notice just that full, almost forceful breath. Pause. Take the feet apart a little bit. And as you move to a forward bend here, you're going to hold your elbows, okay? Just fold over. Good. And then as you come up, you reach your arms up, and the arms go way out to the side and come down. So we're going to bring awareness to the hands and the wrists, like we did a little waking up of the feet. So now with the hands, you're just going to make little fists with the hands and release. Make fists, release, however you want to do that. So, our hands really work a lot with, like our devices that we need to deal with. So you're going to just reach your arms forward, like your arms are straight, you're reaching forward, and you're doing that, making fists, releasing, and then just bring your arms up. So just doing this like big circles. The arms then are going to go way out to the side, and they come down, and you just keep like working your little, finger muscles here. Don't be surprised if this, you feel some fatigue in your hands. So it's a really good way of just like working, but also like stretching and opening through your hands, your fingers, your wrists. Keep this going. Make sure, like, there's that whole digestive tract that's still really open as you're doing this. Mouth is relaxed and throat feeling down into your belly. Good. And then as we release, we're going to do a few more of our inhale up, exhale down. And pause. So let's come up towards the front of the mat, and we're going to do just a little sequence of some standing poses as we enter kind of variation of sun salute. So at the front of your mat, you're actually just going to keep your right foot forward, and you're going to step your left foot back. Okay. Both feet are down. That back foot is opened a little bit. It's like your toes point out to the left slightly. Now go ahead and bend the right knee. And this is a good one because when you bend your right knee, you maybe have to work harder to keep your left leg straight. Your arms could stay down for a moment. And then straighten the right leg, and then bend it again, and then straighten and bend and straighten. Just play with that. You are facing the front of your mat, okay? Like your ribs are, and even like your hips. You don't want to be rotating and opening, like your navel pointing to the left, okay? So it's forward. And then just start to lift up through your spine. Like get that, but as you lift up through your spine, you have to pull your navel up also, okay? Getting that lifted up. Now, keeping the right knee bent. Just let that knee stay bent. Ground your back heel. Warrior one as we lift the arms up. Strong pose. Even the arms are straightening. So this really opens around stomach, liver, that digestive fire, that furnace opens up here. Now reach the arms out to the side. Lean forward a little bit. Go to warrior three pose where you straighten your standing leg. You're balancing. You're reaching your left leg back. Still really open around your ribs. Lift your navel up as you move to a tree pose. Staying grounded. You even imagine, just like in a tree, where, we can't see the roots of the tree. And it's kind of similar here. You can't see, but maybe you can feel that connection, that energetic connection down to the earth. As you let go of this, you take your left foot down and you move right to a big forward bend. Untuck your tailbone here. And then move back to downward facing dog. Sensing that nice length of the spine. Now, as you go to plank pose, I'm going to add in a little movement in your plank. I don't know why I call this one rainbow plank, because it reminds me of this, the movement that we do is kind of like the shape of a rainbow. So you're going to let your right hip kind of drop down. And then you lift it up, way up, and then you drop your left hip down. You let it lower a little bit. And then you lift your left hip up and you drop your right hip down. And as you go back and forth, it just like the whole pelvis reminds me like it's kind of rolling along the shape of a rainbow, like up and over, up and over. It's almost a little twisting action. And then your knees touch down and you lower right down onto the belly. And legs go way back. Cobra pose. You lift up. And you widen across your chest. And then the legs go back. So we're going to sneak right into our Shavasana where the legs lift up. And as you reach your arms back, engage your triceps. So draw your shoulder blades down your back. The triceps really engage when you straighten your arms and you lift your shoulders up. Good. And then moving back to downward facing dog. You lift up. There's that nice deep crease in the hips. And the lengthening of the lower back. So breathe and feel maybe around space of your upper abdomen. How your ribs open here. Good. And then just walk your feet forward. And come up. Push into the feet. Reach the arms all the way up. And bring the arms down. Let me just start with that little warm-up that we did where the left foot stays forward and the right foot steps back. And even at first, both legs could just straighten out here. Okay? Rounded. And then as there's that little bend of the left knee, the right leg works to stay straight. Do that a few times. You straighten the left leg, feel both legs straight. Left knee bends a little bit. So it's so good to kind of check in here on experiencing really the sweetness of doing this work and how we really build this friendship with the body as we connect. Sometimes we do. We just have to remember, like, oh yeah, it's just good to be with the body. Next time you bend your left knee, you pause, you keep the left knee bent. You just lift up through your spine and you reach your arms up. But, you know, yoga is like now the yoga starts to happen where you connect to your body and you make this your own pose. So we kind of drop the instructions and we feel, Now, as you reach your arms way out to the side, you do draw your navel in a little bit as you go to Warrior 3 and balance on your left leg. Staying strong, the back strength as you reach your right leg back. That right leg starts to lift slightly and you tilt over. Even the arms are strong. Standing leg firm. As you move to tree pose, you lift your navel up. Straight up and down here. That right foot might just land on your inner left calf. Good to even imagine like everything pulling into center. So it's almost impossible then to kind of wobble off to the side or tip in any way. You draw into center. And as you let this go, that right foot comes down and really feel the hinging in your hips. So first, your back might stay strong and straight, extending out over your legs. Deep stretch for the backs of your legs. So when you grab your elbows in this pose, it can have an effect on opening around your ribs. And then moving back to down dog. Lengthening. Open the soles of your feet, feel your hands. So as you go to plank pose, even if you want to, move into your rainbow plank where you let the right hip like drop down and then it lifts up and the left hip lowers down a little bit and it lifts up and over. So it's this kind of semicircle that your whole pelvis is moving along. And in your own way, you lower down onto your belly. You reach your legs back. Gradual movement into your back bend. Wide across your chest, lengthen, lift your legs. And then as you reach your arms back here, as an option, you could bend your knees and grab your feet. And then push your feet into your hands. Lift your thighs up away from the floor. Make sure you're still really open around your chest and your throat. This is Dhanurasana bow pose. This one, there can be a lot of sensations as you're in this pose, but this really opens around your abdomen and your stomach. Now, go ahead, release your legs. Let them straighten again. And position your hands, that ready position for down dog. Toes tucking under. And really practice. Push straight up. And back to your down dog. Breathe and feel this counter pose from your back bend. The lengthening, the space now around your brain. And then go ahead and walk forward. Come all the way up. Reaching up. And then just take arms down alongside you. And here you are, standing upright. It's good to make sure right now you're very aware that you're still doing yoga. So in these pretty neutral poses, this can be, we can have a lot of insight about, oh, wait, I could do yoga all the time. When I'm standing, I have awareness of my whole body. It makes sense to stay connected to my gut I sent out a little email this week about actually saying, if only your liver could speak, what would it say? What would your pancreas say? So we could just listen, just use imagination. Like, what would they be telling us? So when we take these, these next two poses are just, they're in, my top favorites. And I could do them in every class, which I do a lot, where we keep the right foot forward and then we step the left foot back and you're in your crescent pose, okay? Now the back heel is up, and if you ever feel that this is, really wobbly, you can do this next to a chair or a wall. But it's just plain old easier to straighten the back leg here rather than having the foot down. So nice and strong, lift up your spine. The arms are going to go out to the side. Just easy out to the side, like palms forward, and your shoulder blades are on your back. Go ahead and take a twist now to your right. As you're twisting, just let your left hand touch your right thigh. Twisting around your ribs. Like just getting that feeling of my ribs are rotating. Straighten that back leg. As you untwist here, you're going to place your right hand on your right thigh and then just reach your left arm up. So this is that wonderful psoas stretch, and just right around the whole abdomen basically. So take a little side stretch for your left side, like you're lifting your left ribs up, almost like your pancreas is really getting like a big look out the window here. You're opening that side vent of the furnace, opening up. So good for stretching the side of the body, the front of your left hip. Especially when you straighten the back leg. Good. Now, as you let this go, back foot steps forward. So you might even still feel like that left side. Wow, like that space you created. And then the right foot steps back. That right heel is a little lifted up, but work the leg so it's strong and straight. At the same time, there's a lift of your front hip bones or navel, like lifting up here. Arms can go out, the palms are forward, shoulder blades just gently pressing on the back. There's the head is just balancing, it's lifted up. Twist open to your left, like you're rolling your left shoulder open. Right hand can touch left thigh. Twisting. Don't strain at all. Breathe, feel. So there always is like this little bit of this sweetness. We see the goodness, like the body's been waiting for this. As you untwist, now we just take left hand right on the left thigh, and the right arm is going to reach up. Straighten the back right leg. And little side stretch here for the right side. Lift your right ribs up. Just making sure, like we're keeping this sweet. That's when we're doing yoga, connecting. So now this is more of like the liver getting lots and lots of space. Good. As you let go, stepping forward. And just taking some nice big sun breaths where you inhale, you might bring your arms up, and then you exhale and you go all the way over. And you inhale, you come up. But find your own rhythm with this. So it's comfortable. And, has that sweetness, kind of a tenderness. Good. Next time you're up, you get to stay up. And then just bringing the arms down. Now, we're going to transition. Actually, no, we're going to do one last little standing movement. And this one, I definitely want to use an object like the wall or a chair or something. So what we're going to do is I want to get into the quads, like really stretch your quads, okay? So you're going to just be balancing. And this is also like tree pose or balancing on one leg. So I'm going to be balancing on my right leg. And I'm going to bend my left knee and lift my foot like behind me. Okay, and then I'm going to reach back and then grab my foot. So this is a pretty straightforward way of stretching your quads, your left quads. So make sure as you're here that you don't suddenly, like I'm going to demonstrate, like I'm really arching my lower back. I mean, you can just see this. So we don't want to do that. Rather, I want to kind of draw my navel in and drop my tailbone down. And then as I do that, I might notice how my left knee goes forward. And that's okay. You just want to find this balance of like reaching your left knee down, but keeping that lift up through your lower back. Don't overarch. Okay, so left foot you're drawing in towards your butt. And just feeling into this. Also make sure in your right leg, like you'll probably feel you are working and you're not sinking down into your right hip. So lift up, get the tall tree pose feeling. Slowly releasing. And I know that there might be folks out there where you can't grab your foot. Now, this means that you might use some kind of prop. I just happen to have a scarf. You could use not only a yoga strap, but, also something like a scarf where you're holding that and drawing the foot in, right? If it isn't comfortable to hold on to the foot. Other side, we'll just do this little stretch here, balancing on the left leg. And then you just bend your right knee in your own way, reach down, grab your right foot. And then the yoga begins. Feeling, like I said, this is a quad stretch. So it's both because you're reaching your right knee down and you're drawing your right foot in towards your butt. Making sure you're kind of lifting up out of your lower back Don't sink. Don't overarch your lower back. Breathe. Enjoy. Like this is, you don't want to get all tense here. Taller. Don't sink in your left hip. Slowly releasing. So that stretch of the quads is actually related to your bridge pose. So we're going to be doing bridge pose and opening up and doing a little work around similar work that we did last week. If you were here. So as you come down onto the mat, you're going to go ahead and recline as we prepare, kind of taking yourself into that shape of bridge pose preparation where the knees are bent, feet are on the floor, and you really do get a sense like your shoulder blades are flat and you are wide across your chest, almost a little lift of your breastbone here. And as you ground your feet, you're going to just start to lift a bridge pose. You're lifting your butt away from the floor, and you might notice, well, there's that same kind of stretch through your quads. Again, this is because your knees are bent and there's no flexion in your hips because your tailbone is drawing up. Now really lift your chest here and even reach your arms up and over your head. As you do that, that action can help to really open the space of your chest, the space of prana, of just the air, the main area of your lungs. And then as you lower down here, you're just going to bring your arms back down. Of course, the arms can be optional, right? And we're going to practice just lifting up into this. Reach your arms up and over your head and inhale as you lift up. And then just exhale as you lower down, okay? And play with this. Like feel the work of doing this, but can we do our work with great spaciousness and ease? Lifting and lowering. Really tune in and feel like your whole body is here. Your mind is in your body. Non-distraction. Focus on how this feels. Now, next time that you lift up here, as you lift up, you inhale, and you're going to stay in your bridge pose. Breathing, feeling space of your ribs and how this really opens, right? Like right below your ribs. And then next time that you exhale, you really squeeze out your exhale and hold your breath out. And then kind of relaxing as you inhale. As you exhale, you lower back down. Pause. And we'll just do that sequence again, okay? Keep your feet grounded. And as you inhale, you lift into your bridge pose. You reach your arms up and over your head. Make sure, like really keep your shoulders, neck comfortable here. You're still grounding your shoulders. And just breathing. Yes, maybe a big inhale. As you exhale, just squeeze out your exhale. And right at the end of your exhale, just hold your breath. Gradually kind of relax and inhale. And as you exhale, you lower down. Pause, feel. So I hope that you are feeling like your glutes and your hamstrings because they really should be working to keep your tailbone lifted. Okay, we get to do this one more time. You move to your bridge pose. So feel tailbone lifts up. The arms reach up and over your head. And even here, kind of ground your shoulders or feel that grounding, even drawing your shoulders under slightly. So you really don't have pressure on your neck. Inhale, lift your tailbone. And as you exhale, to squeeze out your exhale and then hold your breath out. You might even pull your chin down to your throat and draw your navel, kind of hollow out your belly. Relaxing and inhaling. And then it's your exhale where you lower down. Okay? And pause here. And as you pause right here, let your lower back really relax, even like draw your tailbone down. So it gets that nice length for your lower back in this pose. Now bring awareness to your sacrum and feel some pressure, like you're bringing weight onto your sacrum. And as you feel more pressure there, lift your feet away from the floor and just reach your legs up. Okay, so you have the little teeny arch of your lower back. And then take your legs wider apart. Let them separate. Continue to feel that pressure on your sacrum. Straighten your legs. And then bring the legs back together. And then let the legs open out to the side. Bringing them back together. There's lots of space in your chest here. You can maybe bring your arms out wherever they want to go. Let the legs open apart and bring them back together. When your legs come together, there's even a moment where they really squeeze together. And you're really working you're working like your inner leg muscles. And this is actually really good to keep these inner and outer muscles really strong because they help you to do things like walk on icy surfaces. Yes. So you're less likely to slip and fall with like these muscles really awake. Good. And then go ahead and just bend your knees and gently draw your knees into your chest, this kind of upside down child pose. Now, from here, you prepare for Shavasana, okay? So you might come up Putting on your layers again, if you took off any layers, um, or finding a blanket and covering up with a blanket in your Shavasana. There's something sweet. I find there's something sweet about Shavasana in the winter and when it's snowing out, which is right now in Minneapolis, to kind of merge with this quiet. Really sweet stillness, the silence of the snow falling. Like our whole body and even our thoughts are quiet so as not to disturb the stillness. So as you find now your physical pose of Shavasana, if you want to really develop that connection to your belly, you might take your hands on your belly and developing just that healing, that sweet touch. Setting this intention or this vow as best as I can. Take care of my belly, take care of my liver and my pancreas, and listen. And how this moment has the sweetness that we're looking for. This wordless connection. It's interesting about the kind of power, like kind of superpower of our awareness. When our awareness meets unskillful or unwholesome states of mind, those unwholesome states tend to wither. So, right now, if you're aware of just any anger in the body, for example, but just being aware of that, or bring awareness to your forehead. And if you feel like any hardening or tension at your forehead, just being aware of that space will soften and decrease the tension. So let's practice now, just bringing awareness to the body, giving yourself your own attention. When awareness meets really beautiful states, When you're aware of like your hand connecting to the sweetness, like it will enhance that beautiful quality. Recognize this moment. Wow, yeah, this really matters. Bringing awareness maybe to your lips, your mouth, aware of your throat. So the awareness is really simple, has no agenda. So as you're aware of your throat, you're just there. Bringing awareness down to space around your stomach, or imagine your liver. And deeper into your belly, around your navel. Feeling this space. You might even feel the pulse of your heartbeat, even in your belly. Don't need to ponder at all, just feeling, sensing. Moving into stillness. Letting the body really sink down, connecting to the earth. With awareness, we start to move and transition. You might just intentionally, one leg at a time. I'm bending my right knee and bending my left knee. I'm going to roll to the side, or, yeah, just feeling this body. So as you come up to seated, it's like here we are in this kind of ordinary pose sitting, but it does, almost just kind of sparkles a little bit when we bring awareness. Oh, yeah, it matters to feel the body and do the work of just sitting upright, taking palms together in front of the heart. We might notice what we learned today, what we received from our practice. So this, in a way, these teachings, like they're meant to be just kind of passed on and shared, and this happens very naturally. But we could just be aware of how we're doing this work, and it benefits all beings. We send out the wish. May all beings benefit from our efforts. We'll close our practice with the sound of Om. Take a deep inhale. Hmm. Thank you so much for taking time to do this work. Truly, the world thanks you. Um, so today is Tuesday. Tuesday is when I do this recording on the Common Ground channel. And then on Wednesdays, I do hold a class in person at Common Ground, and that is from 12:05 to 1:05. And then on Friday mornings, there's a class at the same time from 9:30 to 10:45, and that one is both in person and it's also on Zoom. And all of that is just on the Common Ground website on the calendar, which possibly is where you found this. um, but yeah, certainly if you have any questions, you can let me know, or um, if you want to support Common Ground. We like to just make sure that all of these online classes, I mean, anyone can tap into them, who has a device to do so. And if you want to then give back in any way where you want to support Common Ground, so we, yeah, basically can continue doing this, that you can do that. You can find just pretty simple on the Common Ground website. And I think even if you're on YouTube here, just right at the top of the screen, there's a little area that you can tap and support Common Ground. When you do that, it might prompt you, or it will prompt you to see if there's any teacher that you want to donate towards. So if you put my name, Nancy Boler, then 2/3 of your donation comes my way, and then the third goes to Common Ground. So that's how that works. But yeah, and my wish is that if you give back. I mean, oftentimes when we send a donation, I mean it generally feels good, right? So you just want to, you know, just sit down with your heart and just go, well, what would feel right of, this giving and receiving freely, of just what feels freeing and just brings you great joy. Um, so I'm going to leave it here, and I wish you a wonderful practice, and I hope to see you next time.